Doug Osler from the farm Vurieshoek in the Vuriesburg area was recently named Free State Agriculture's 25th Young Farmer of the Year. He believes that challenges and setbacks serve as a learning curve, definitely something any farmer can resonate with. Lisa Roberts had an interesting discussion with Doug recently, and this morning we get to meet this remarkable young man. We also chat to Thokozani Ndonga from the ARC about the importance of beef cattle record keeping. But first, over to Lisa for the news.
Welkom by vandag se nuus. Die Nasionale Wolkwekersvereniging het onlangs 'n nuwe voorsitter verwelkom. Billy van Zyl is by die NWKV se onlangse jaarkongres as die nuwe voorsitter aangewys. Hy volg vir Guido de Tooy op. De Tooy het die afgelope 6 jaar as nasionale voorsitter gedien. HB van der Walt is as die nuwe nasionale visievoorsitter kommersieel verkies en dien steeds as NWKV voorsitter van die Oos-Kaap. Siphiwo Makinana bly in sy posisie as nasionale visievoorsitter kommunaal. Die veearts Dr. George de Kok is by dieselfde geleentheid met 'n goue ram toekenning vereer vir sy buitengewone bydrae tot die wolbedryf.
En Graan SA het verlede week aangekondig dat Dr. Pieter Taljaard as die nuwe uitvoerende hoof van die organisasie aangestel is. Hy sal in September vanjaar die leiersels by Jannie de Villiers oorneem. Jannie het vroeër vanjaar sy uittrede as uitvoerende hoof aangekondig. Pieter het sy PhD in landbouekonomie aan die Universiteit van die Vrystaat verwerf en was die afgelope 6 jaar in die saadbedryf werksaam. Hy het 'n agtergrond in landbou en toegepaste ekonomie en spesialiseer in verbruikers- en produksie-ekonomie, ekonometrie, sowel as wiskundige optimalisering. Volgens Graan SA volg Pieter se aanstelling op 'n deeglike werwingsproses onder toesig van 'n spesiale komitee van die hoofbestuur.
And the European Parliament has called for an end to caged livestock farming within the next 6 years. The organisation, Compassion in World Farming, has proposed measures to facilitate the transition from enriched colony cages to alternative systems. These systems include financial support for producers and meet the European Union's welfare standard requirements for imports. Especially the poultry and swine industries will be affected by this. En altesaam 8 teelers en sowat 220 diere het aan die onlangse Wes-Kaapse Dorperklub Kampioenskap op Klein Willem deelgeneem. Dr. Corrie Avenant van ATKA Dorpers en Witdorpers het die meeste punte in die dorper afdeling behaal. Pieter Stoffberg van Pieter Stoffberg Witdorpers het die meeste punte in die Witdorper afdeling behaal. Beide die senior en groot kampioen Ooi, sowel as die senior en groot kampioen Ram, het aan ATKA Dorpers behoort. Dis dan vandag se nuus.
Netafim. Grow more with less.
The Free State Agriculture Young Farmer for 2021 is Doug Osler, and he's from the Vuriesburg region. He joins us now from his home. Doug, welcome to Farm TV. An apple farmer in the Free State. Some viewers might say that's a bit unusual.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. It's good to be here with you. Yeah, it is. It's quite unique. We're small in terms of South Africa's production. We're in fact only about 2%. But our climate lends itself being harvesting apples about 2 to 3 weeks earlier than the big producing areas in the country. And that gives us our competitive edge and makes it worthwhile growing apples in what is quite a risky environment.
Now, Lone Tree Farms is a family business and you've been part of it for 16 years. Elaborate on that.
So I'm involved in the business together with a brother and one of my sisters. And together with my father, who's also involved, we trade as Lone Tree Farms. I joined the business in 2004 when I finished studying in Cape Town, and an opportunity opened up in the apples, and I joined it with no real idea of what to expect, but yeah, it just appealed to me and I love what I do. So here I am 17 years later. My responsibility is the Apple enterprise. We each have our own areas of responsibility. And right through from planting all the way to sales and marketing. So since I've joined, we've tried to push development on apples specifically. We see it as important. It does need a bit of hedging. Like I said, it is quite risky producing apples in this area. But yeah, together, we farm together as a family business. We're fourth generation and our kids are now fifth generation on the farm. So yeah, absolute privilege.
Reading about you, I gather you have experienced a few challenges and setbacks. Perhaps you could share a few lessons you've learnt as a young farmer.
I'd say that each year brings its own different challenges, you know, whether it's COVID or the climate, political, economic, every year is something different. But I'd say the single biggest challenge that I've faced to date was 2017. We had a 95% crop loss on the apples due to frost in September 16, where we had about a week of cold weather, -4 to -6, in flowering time, the absolute worst time you could have it. And like I say, 95% crop loss. And it was really a testing time. Our relationships with our staff were down. We had to go through a retrenchment process. Unions got involved. It really was a very difficult time. You know, financially we were constrained. We're up against it, and I must say it was a tough time. Relied a lot on my faith in those dark days, but fortunately we pulled through. A lot of strategy, a lot of digging deep, really boxing clever to get out of the difficult times. But you know, here we are and we're carrying on, and the relationships have been rebuilt. But I'd say it was a very testing time.
How do you keep up with the latest trends?
So lots on social media, reading magazines, information from the industry on emails and such like that they send out, searching the internet. I mean, it's just whatever you want, you can find out there. And then I think also visiting and engaging with other growers and producers, seeing what they do, learning from them. Yeah, that's pretty much how one keeps abreast of it.
What does your involvement in organized agriculture and the community entail?
I'd say, you know, in terms of organized agriculture, it's being part of the local boerevereniging, as well as in terms of the apple side of it. I'm the chairman of the Highveld Producers Organization, which means I'm a director on Port Grove, which is the body that looks after apples and pears in South Africa. And I'd say it's a lot about scheduled meetings that one attends, where all the pertinent issues that are being faced in the space at the moment are discussed, and strategies and how one gets involved as a community. I'd say it's a lot of community work, doing things together, whether it be security or fixing roads or getting involved in feeding schemes, whatever is required to make sure that we can stick together and get through what needs to happen now.
In closing, Doug, perhaps a few words to your fellow young farmers in South Africa?
I would say that one needs to look for opportunities. I think there are good opportunities out there. Don't fool yourself thinking that it's going to be easy. I think there's challenges. There are always challenges, but it's definitely worthwhile. When it comes off, it's just really, really worthwhile. And it's a great way of life.
And that was Doug Osler. He is the 2021 Free State Agriculture Young Farmer of the Year.
Good morning viewers. In this week's commodity price report we can see that almost all prices in the red meat industry decreased week on week after a few weeks of really strong prices. The A2 beef carcass price decreased with 0.2%, while the C2 carcass price increased with 0.9%, and the weaned calf price decreased with 1.8%. In terms of lamb and sheep meat, the A2 lamb carcass price decreased with 1.6% week on week, while C2's decreased with 0.3%, and the weaned lamb price decreased quite sharply with 4.9%. Pork price is a little bit up from the previous week. There are currently no wool or mower auctions as the season is closed, and auctions will resume in August. On the grain market, yellow maize decreased with 5.7%, wheat with 1.9%, soybeans with 4.1%, and sunflower seeds with 4%. The rand also weakened against the most famous currencies, 3% against the dollar, and that is due to possible interest rates increases in the USA, while it weakens with 1.1% against the euro.
NutriFeeds, die formule vir sukses.
The importance of record keeping in beef cattle. That's our next topic of discussion, and I'd like to welcome Thokozani Ndonga from the ARC. Thokozani, welcome.
Right, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Danielisa.
What is record keeping in beef cattle? Explain to us.
Record keeping, in short, is management information, and also to survive in this industry, you need to have logical principles in place, which is record keeping. And also there are many different types of record that a farmer can keep to ensure that the business is operating well. And also there are different options of record keeping that a farmer can use. For example, manual as well as electronic. If I can briefly, in short, at ARC we have an integrated registration and genetic information system, which is used to integrate genetic potential as well as performance of animals. And also it is very important to take care what type of record will you use when you select your animals, and also to ensure that that record can be applied efficiently. In other words, to have a management information system in place means to be able to manage your future better, which is achieved by means of record keeping. And also you need to make sure that all the events that are happening on the farm, you record them down, as well as incidents. Because if you try to remember with your head, you will make wrong decision when you do your selection.
But why is record keeping so important for farmers?
Record keeping is a very important aspect to ensure the livestock business management improve. And also as a farmer, you can be able to identify the best opportunities to adjust on your management style. It also gives a farmer the better understanding of the farming environment, and also it is a basic for well-informed decision making. And also it assists when you do your credit applications, like when you're applying for government funds, as well as when you are doing tax returns.
What factors do one need to recognize in aid of creating records so that you can be sure that your cattle farming is a success?
Yes, one of the important factors is to ensure that you understand the climate in that farming environment and its effect on the animal performance. As well, you must understand the health aspect of the animals, which means by applying prevention methods that ensure the livestock survives. And also the animals that have disease resistance will also ensure that you save a lot on production costs, because it reduces those production costs. And also you must make sure that you understand the nutrition part, because as a farmer, You need to ensure that the animals, they are in good plane of nutrition so that they can perform better as well. And also you need to understand the reproduction and breeding. The fertility, which is the most important trait that we use in beef cattle to improve our livestock genetically. You must ensure that the genetic material that the animal carries, they are the best genetic material so that the animals can strive and grow faster on that farming environment within the same management style. And also lastly will be the production economics, which is the underlying driving factor of your management style.
Well, don't go away. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion with Thokozani. And what we will talk about then is what type of records are important. We are talking to Thokozani Ndonga from the ARC about the importance of record keeping with beef cattle farming. What type of record should be kept on a cattle farm?
The type of record that should be kept on a cattle farm should be calving register as well as calf register. So for calving register, it maintains all the calving activity that takes place in the farm. And the calf register, it maintains all the information about the calf itself, its mother and its father, and also the birth weight of that calf, and also some of the remarks that can be written that will be useful as well when you compare the performance of that animal in terms of status of calving, is it normal or abnormal, and also the animal identification record, because it's very important that for you as a farmer to record clearly, the animal should have animal identification in terms of numbering, as well as animal health registry or animal health booklet that will help you to record all the animals that became sick, as well as the diagnosis that was in terms of disease, what disease that animal had, and also the treatment that was given. And another one that is very important is the animal weight in different production stages, like your weaning weight, 12-month weight, and 18-month weight. That will help you when you do selection to select based on those records.
Thokozani, what are the benefits of record keeping, briefly?
Yes, the benefits of record keeping, they ensure that you take decision based on the performance of the animal because you have kept the record. They also increase production. They also increase productivity, as well as the farmer who are keeping record, you are likely to benefit in the market because the market now will gain trust to your product. And also the record increase product value. They also assist in evaluating the genetics. Actually, they also assist to evaluate the progeny of the bulls, as well as to ensure that you make adjustment on your management style because you have seen what are the animal performing, and also have identified the weakness and the strength in your farming environment.
Now, genetic improvement, why is it so important on the farm?
Genetic improvement is very important in such a way that it ensures that you meet at least the market requirements. And also it ensures the efficiency and economically production of quality meat to the market. And also it improves some specific traits like growth trait, a carcass yield or meat yield, as well as the wean weight or 12-month weight.
I mentioned earlier that you are from the ARC, which is the Agricultural Research Council. So how do you assist beef cattle farmers to improve their breeding?
Yes, we assist a lot to beef cattle farmers in improving their herd by making sure that they buy the best genetic materials in the farm, like buying stud or registered bulls to improve their cow herd performance, as well to ensure that we conduct some training, farmers' days, as well. Like on training, we have a beef management course that we conduct every quarter, where the commercial farmers, the imaging, and even the stud breeders can attend to that course to ensure that they up their skills in terms of management and recording, and also improve their genetics. We also assist on auction catalog, because most of the imaging farmers and some commercial farmers, they do struggle to interpret the auction catalog before the auction date. So we also have a blab course that assists on that, and we share information to those farmers when we have Farmers' Day, so that they can be able to identify the best bull before the day of the auction and help them to interpret the estimated breeding value certificates that are mentioned on the auction catalog.
And how do we get hold of you?
Thank you very much. You can either phone me or you can email me to get contact, so that we provide the service that you want as a farmer at the best price.
Oh yes, and that is very important, at the best price. So there we have it. That was Thokozani Ndonga from the ARC chatting to us today about the importance of beef cattle record keeping.